ओके, तो अभी हम करेंगे MCS 201 सी एंड पाइथन का ब्लॉक 2 का यूनिट 7, जिसमें है पॉइंटर्स एंड देयर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, एड्रेस एंड इनडायरेक्शन ऑपरेटर्स, पॉइंटर टाइप डिक्लेरेशन असाइनमेंट एंड पॉइंटर अरिथमेटिक, पॉइंटर पासिंग पॉइंटर टू फंक्शन, एरे एंड पॉइंटर्स, arrays and pointers, array of pointer and string, these are। ठीक है, तो इसमें क्या है देख लेते हैं एक बार। C uses pointer in three main ways. First, they use to create dynamic data structure blocks allocated for the leap run. Second uses in array. A normal variable is a location in memory that can hold a value. For example, where you declare a variable I as an integer for while the memory is set aside of it. In your program of refer that location in memory by name. Okay, because a pointer holds address rather than value. Pointer hold address rather than value. Pointer address hold करता है. It has two parts. The pointer holds itself the address. The address points to a value. These pointers are the value pointed to. Computer's memory made up of sequential collection of storage cells. Byte each has a number called address associated with where declare memory holds this. Okay, example देखते हैं. Write a program various data type print size of int, जिसमें size of int, size of float carry. ठीक है, size carry किया. इसलिए क्या है concept of pointer variables नाम temp file. अच्छा ठीक है. Characteristic, the program execution will be faster than as the data is manipulated with the help of address directly. Will save the memory space. The memory space will be very efficient. Dynamic memory is allocated. The address and indirection operators. Pointers type and assignment. We have seen the previous section that this returns the address of this. In C, every variable must be declared with the data type is used, even there holds goods for the pointers to. We knew that it is not an ordinary variable like many integers variable. We declare the data type of a pointer variables so that as that of the type of the type data that will be stored at the address to which it is pointing to. Int ptr, where ptr is called a pointer variable. The name of asterisk form that the compiler want to pointer variable. Okay. Example, a pointer to pointer. The concept of pointer can be extended further. As we have seen earlier, a pointer variable can be assigned the address of a pointer value. Variable can be assigned the address of an ordinary variable. Now this variable itself could another pointer. That means that the pointer can contain address of another pointer. Okay. ये उसका ऊपर का and I null. It does not take sense of any variable. It does not make sense to assign an integer to a pointer variable, and exception is an assignment of 0. Pointer arithmetic में क्या है? p1 equal to p2r plus 2 ptr plus plus minus minus. Okay. थोड़ा स्पीड में ही जा रहे हैं क्योंकि अभी टाइम है नहीं. मेरे पास ज़्यादा डीपली पढ़ने का. Passing pointers to function, it's 17 and we have only one more days left. 18 19 को we have our exam. Pass by value method, passed by reference method. Function returning more than values. Using call by reference method can be written a variable at time which is not possible in the call by value method. Function returning a pointer. A function can also return a pointer to the calling program the way it returns an int, a float, and any other data type. The return a pointer of function must explicitly mention in the calling program as well as the function prototype. Array and pointers. Array and always related to this. Okay. Array and pointers. Pointers and multi-dimensional array. Pointers with multi-dimensional array. Okay. Pointers. Array of pointers. Array of pointers. The way they can be array of integers and array of float numbers. Similarly, there can be array of pointers too, since the pointer contains an address. Pointers in a string. As we have seen in a string, a string is C. A string in C is array of characters ending the null character, which specify where the string terminates in memory, like in one-dimensional array. देख लेते हैं यहाँ पे हम जैसे लिखे हुए ना simplified way में ये पढ़ लेते हैं. Pointers and their characteristics. What are pointers? A pointer is a special variable that stores the memory address of another variable. Correct. So the pointer is a special variable that stores the memory address of another variable. A pointer is a special variable that stores the memory address of another variable. Every variable in C is stored somewhere in memory. A pointer points to the memory location instead of directly holding the value. How to declare a pointer? Okay, so इस तरह हम लोग pointer को declare करते हैं this way. Here P is a pointer that can store the address of an integer. How to assign address to pointer? To use the address of pointer and to get the address, right? How to assign address to pointer? P equal to address को pointer में assign. Now P holds the address of variable and A के साथ कर दिए तो उसका variable hold करेगा. How to access the value from pointer? Using star. Using star से value को access कर सकते हैं अपन. प्रिंट डी और स्टार पी से. तो इसके लिए रूल क्या है देखो. सबसे पहले तो स्टार पी से डिक्लेयर हो गया, ठीक है. स्टार पी से डिक्लेयर हो गया. अब पी इज इक्वल टू एंड ए से इसका मतलब असाइन एड्रेस टू पॉइंटर. नाउ पी होल्ड्स, इसके बाद एंड यूज करता है और यहाँ पे डिफेंस ऑपरेटर हो गया. कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ पॉइंटर्स. फास्ट एग्जीक्यूशन, डायरेक्टली एक्सेस द डेटा थ्रू द मेमोरी क्विकर, सेव मेमोरी इंस्टेड ऑफ कॉपिंग एंटायर डेटा, जस्ट पास द एड्रेस. Efficient memory address accessing memory location is faster and more efficient. Dynamic memory allocation allows allocation of memory at runtime using function like this and this. Pointers variable that store addresses, faster memory and powerful. Pointer type declaration and assignment. Pointer also need declaration. In C, every variable must be declared before use. Some rule applies to pointer, but pointer are little special that store addresses, not normal values. क्या है? Assignment. Pointer also need declaration. In C language, every variable must be declared before use. Some rules applies for pointer, but pointer are little special. They store addresses, not the actual value. While addressing a pointer, you must tell the compiler what kind of data the pointer will point to. Use star to tell that's a pointer. Syntax type, data type, pointer name, int, and this. So ptr is a pointer that will store the address of an integer. What is pointer to a pointer? As the name says, it is pointer to store the address of another pointer. So basically, normal pointer store the value of variable. Pointer to pointer store address of variable. Why do we need it? When we need multiple level of indirection. Null pointer. Null pointer assignment in C. What is null pointer? A null pointer is a pointer that does not point to any valid memory location. It is usually used to show that the pointer is empty or not in use. How to assign a null pointer? How can assign null to any pointer? Example, null pointer. Okay. Here ptr does not point to any valid memory. Null is a special constant defined in C. Internally, null is equal to 0. Why use null pointer? To indicate. Why use null pointer? How to assign a null pointer? You can assign null to any pointer. Example this. Okay. Here's pointer does not point to any valid memory. Null is a special constant defined by C. Why use null pointer? To indicate that pointer is not assigned any valid address. The pointer is not actually in use. Currently is in use. Avoid accidental use of meaningless pointer arithmetic. You can perform arithmetic operations like plus, minus. Because pointer store memory address, when you add or subtract, you are moving the text or previous memory based on the data type size. Passing pointers to function. Why pass pointer to function? To allow the function to modify the actual values of variable in a calling function. Save memory. How it works: instead of passing value call, you pass address. Function returning more than one value. Normally in C, a function can return only one value directly, but the return multiple values. Use pointer or structure. Use pointers. You pass address to the multiple variables of the function. Function returning a pointer. A function can return a pointer value. Sometimes we want to return address of an array element, address of dynamic allocated memory, address of a calculated result. Pointer in multi-dimensional array. What is multi-dimensional array? It is like an array inside an array. Example 2D array. Int 3 4. It stores the 3 row and 4 column. 3 row and 4 column. Yes. फर्स्ट रो कॉलम 1 कॉलम 2 कॉलम 3. हाउ पॉइंटर्स वर्क. ये क्या है? रो 1. इसलिए देखो पहला होता है रो 1 कॉलम 1, रो 1 कॉलम 2, रो 1 कॉलम 3, रो 2 0 1 2 3 ऐसा करके, है ना. ये समझ में आ गया. हाउ पॉइंटर्स वर्क. विजिट एड्रेस ऑफ फर्स्ट रो. एड्रेस ऑफ फर्स्ट रो. Address of first row of first element. Address of first element of a first row. Value of I and j. Formula this. ये कुछ you are still just moving through memory using pointer. Array in pointers. Next, what is array of pointer? What is array of pointer? Instead of storing normal values, you store addresses. Int this 5. Here ptr is an array which can store 5 address of integer. You want to store address in the multiple variables. ptr 1 2 3 ठीक है. 3 ptr 0 and a and b and c. This can be access values. ptr 0 gives 1, ptr 2 20 and 30. It is very useful. You have multiple string, you want a dynamic memory, you want to flexible data, pointers and string. In C, string is simple, character away, character name 6. ठीक है, you are using pointer. ये है और ये. How pointers handle string? In both cases, name holds the address of the first character. You can access character using name 0 and name plus 1 and 2. Summary table, multi-dimensional array inside array, pointer to 2D array. You can use and see. That is it for this. और इसका कोड बेस अच्छे से समझना पड़ेगा एग्जाम में करने के लिए.